Hey everybody, so I'm going to finally do my 2024 concert recap. Got to see shows in 3 countries, US, Canada, and Czech Republic. Got to see shows in 6 or 7 states: Maryland, Maine, Arizona, California, obviously Seattle, Vancouver. And the goal of the year was A, go see bands that you've been waiting to see that you haven't seen yet, and B, go do some new stuff. So I'm going to point out more of the notable things. I use Concert Archives. It's a great free website where you can store concert information, right? Names of the bands, the date, the venue, the town. You can upload video and photo to it. You can add like pictures of yourself in a slightly different section, like the fun pictures. You can put facts about the shows in there. It's a great website. There's a little bit of social interaction, but really the goal is this kind of collection thing. So if you're not on it, get on it. All right, let's go. So started the year with a local show. Really cool, a lot of noise. Melancholia, amazing 2-piece death metal band here in Washington. First show, I think, of the 3 Inches of Blood reunion tour up in Canada. Violent. A lot of fun. Really cool show. New Year's Eve Winterfest 3-day festival in Vancouver. And by the way, when I say 120 shows, right, this is a 3-day festival. That's one show. And if you disagree, you're wrong. But so when I say 120 shows, that's 120 tickets purchased. Now, this one, it was literally, I just purchased a 1-day ticket. I couldn't make it all 3 days. But I had to go see Satanic Tico. Love those guys. Bewitcher, a lot of really cool bands. Bewitcher was cool. They put on a great, thrash show. And I got to help them get their van unstuck out of the snow. Don't be jealous. That's my claim to fame. Everett's getting some really good heavy and noisy stuff. Bolt Cutter and C.ell, 2 bands I've seen a few times, really heavy and mean, and I think that if these guys play their cards right, they're going to continue to make really good music. First real big thing of the year for me was this 3-day Portland, Seattle, Vancouver tour for Machine Head, Fear Factory, Orbit Culture, Gates to Hell. I was excited to check out Gates to Hell. Orbit Culture is one of my favorite current bands. Fear Factory, Machine Head, seen them a bunch before. It's kind of a nostalgia tour. Plus, my heavy metal sister, she was getting to see some of these bands for the first time too, so we did this 3-day trip together. And this was a personal goal. So I was 45 at the time, wanted to prove I could still whoop some ass. Obviously, it shows there's a lot of people working hard, but Machine Head gives out these awesome, amazing shirts to the person they see going the hardest at the show, right? The most valuable rager. It's got a cool design on the front and the back. And I thought I had it the first night. I thought I had it the second night. And finally, the third night, I was exhausted, but I managed to go all out and get the shirt. So for me, a stupid but awesome victory that at 45, we can still do some work in the crowd. But yeah, really, really fun. And the new vocalist, Milo for Fear Factory, really nice guy. Great vocals. He's still kind of finding himself as far as a frontman, but did great. So it was cool to see. It was a fun time. Another local show, Max Shred Room. Really interesting stuff. Another local show, Late Night China, one of the bands on my label. Awesome punk metal, old school vibe, lots of shredding. Love it. Guapoli, it's kind of soft R&B type of stuff. Nice palate cleansing. It was a really enjoyable evening. Very beautiful music, great voice. A lot of fun. Captured by Robots, 1 human, 2 robots, grindcore. Fun. Finally got to see Vader. They were great. Finally got to see Origin. Awesome. Local show. Kelsey Carter and Heroines. I just went to check this out. Fortunately, the Heroines couldn't make it in to the country, so it was just Kelsey Carter and her tour manager. But good on her. She delivered a full set. The crowd loved it. It was really good, so love to see that. First time seeing Ministry. It was a good show. Would have liked to have seen them 20 years ago. Gary Newman, usually a good show, a little lip syncy this time around. Crypto with a whole slew of local bands. Munica, really enjoyed them. Gonna try to see them again before I move from the West Coast back east. Prong, definitely a highlight for me. Been waiting to see these guys for a long time. Finally saw them. Old stuff, new stuff, great energy, a lot of fun. Moss Generator, great local-ish band. Also, two of the guys are playing for Pentagram right now, who I just got to see the other day. Go Ahead and Die, right? One of the Cavalera projects. Max, his son Igor, and Igor's girlfriend, whose name I can't remember at the moment. But I also got to see, Madzilla, my friend Seth loves them. Rat King, great local band, one of my favorites. Another local show, Passiflora, has the vocalist from Filthy Traders in it, Chelsea. Really nice person. It was cool to see her in a different role. It's kind of pop punk, which isn't for me, but you got to support the homies. So, Darkest Hour, really good set. Filth is Eternal. Local legends, obviously. More Rat King, Chelsea Wolf. Nice industrial electronic type of show. Industrial electronic stuff kind of has like a special spot in my heart. I don't go see it a lot for a number of reasons, but I wanted to see this one again. King Yosef, who you may already know. When I've seen him before, I wasn't really moved. It didn't really do anything for me. There were some technical issues, but he was really cool in his response to that, and seeing him this time around was way different. There were no problems. Really solid set. So, sometimes you got to remember, like, we don't all have great days on the job, and you have to give artists multiple chances sometimes. So, really cool set. Pixel Grip, a lot of fun. Health, blinding but really intense. Serpent Speech, another local band. I've been trying to check more out. Wake put on one of the best sets I saw in 2023 with an awesome local lineup. Great Falls and Nurser and Late Night Shiner. Kind of a mixed bag, but Beatdown show here in April. Beatdown, I'm kind of over that. Judiciary was awesome though. Really like them. Another local show. Toxic Tears was great. Palette Cleanser show. Pondbox Boys. Musical act that played in the middle of Bone Bat's Comedy of Horrors all-day film festival. So last year was their 13th. Sharing films from all around the world that are horror-based. Some have comedy. Literally as short as 5 seconds up to an hour. Really fun all-day event with a musical act in the middle. It was really cool to see. And as you can see, right, it says that there are videos for their performance. Some of these have photos and videos, or the set lists are displayed. So if you come over to Concert Archives, you can check out the show info and then click on the video, which brings you to YouTube. Great American Ghost, one of my favorite bands. Really underrated. I don't know what else to say about it. Serpent Speech again. Fauvism, local band that I've been slowly checking out. Deathcore is not my thing, but this was a good show, no doubt about it. Wrath of Bong, friends in the band. First show Under a Bridge, followed by a nasty, sludgy Lymph Node. Really, really good stuff. Wrath of Bong did great. Check them out if you like stoner instrumental type of stuff. Speaking of, another one of those. Health Scala, really cool local band. Little Miss Nasty. Heavy metal burlesque that is incredible. It's a fun time. Doesn't matter who you are. Go out, have a blast watching awesome routines over a lot of metal and rock songs that you know and love. And the people in this group, they work hard. You can see it, and they deliver every time. Every time. So, if you don't go see them, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you just miss out. Zoth, Atoll, Trey Billis. Atoll's a great band. Go see them, for sure. More Little Miss Nasty. This show, brutal. Brutal. Jesus Piece, always in the top 10 for my shows for the year. Do not miss. Gag not far behind that, frankly. I mean, they're bonker shows. But Jesus Piece doesn't matter the size, the lineup, what size of the venue, the lineup, anything. These guys always deliver. And Aaron is an underrated frontman. This dude, he kills it every time. So, got to see Better Lovers for the first time. Really wild set. The whole night was wild, but man, Better Lovers, super group type stuff. So this show, a lot of people disagree with me on. I got to work this show, do some photography. I feel like Knocked Loose gets a lot of hype, and taking nothing from the band, I feel like there's other bands that deserve that hype in maybe a larger way. Nothing against any of these bands. I've seen them all a few times. But I think that this was more of a hype show. Now, granted, we need the scene to get exposure, so that's good. But I think that we need to usher people into other areas of like the hardcore type stuff. So I'm sure a lot of people disagree with that, and I'm happy that Knocked Loose is enjoying the level of success they are. I hope that it becomes something more. Modified Ghost Festival, Modified Ghost, awesome like promotions booking thing. I got to go to one day of this. I got to see the Trent local band up there. Really cool shredders. Allegiant, one of the best sets I've ever seen in my life, and every other band on this night called them out for being amazing musicians. Cataclysm, if you don't know them, I don't know what to tell you. Septic Flesh, not for me, but really cool to see. And Decapitated, who I will see again here in a few weeks. Top set. Great energy, great musicianship. This whole night was awesome. So go see those bands. Cruelty is an awesome band. Full of Hell is awesome. 200 Stab Wounds, I've seen them like 6 times in 2 years. Dying Fetus, I mean, look at this. Just sick. Then we go over to Maryland for Maryland Death Fest, pre-fest and the main fest, so 5 straight days. I was at the first one because I used to live in Jersey, so it was a quick drive over. And at the time, I was not into the really heavy extreme stuff, but I went with a friend, and it was cool to go back after all these years and see it go from this like shitty, dirty headbanger thing to this large, less shitty and dirty headbanger thing. Saw some amazing acts there. I'll just kind of call out the headliners, the top ones for me. Sodom still crushes. That was a rough set. Midnight, holy shit. Those guys, a top set for sure for 2024. This was incredible. I got to see, I don't know, like 50 bands, something over these days. Spectral Wound, definitely a top for me. I love Spectral Wound. They always deliver an incredible show. And they're the type of black metal that's like fast and aggressive. Let me see. Hemorrhage, awesome. Iron Lung, awesome. Contusion, awesome. Like, it just, Motor Scold, I didn't know them. They were a last minute addition. They were cool. Noisy Neighbors, a lot of fun. Poon Tickler, ridiculous name for a ridiculous band, but a lot of fun. Spectral Wound, yes, Stabbing, incredible set in Charlotte. I believe her name's Charlotte. One of the best live death metal vocalists I've ever seen. Her voice was insane. Her vocals, insane. Vermin Womb, awesome shit. Eucopside, Weekend Nachos. Yeah. So, it was an incredible time, and it was awesome to go back and live through the modern version of it. Pretty decently run. Hotels and stuff get to be expensive, so if you're going to go to a good festival, this is a good one to go to, but do your prep work ahead of time. Offshoot show over in Portland, Maine. Got to see Vermin Womb again. Love them. Sissy Spacek was nuts. Cool local bands, and I believe one of the guys from Commuted put this show together. Back in Washington, this killer thing. Jarhead Fertilizer, nasty. Horrors is a favorite. Def Club, love it. Always fun. Got to see the ending of the 3 Inches of Blood and the last 2 nights of Botch. This night was so crazy that, so the stage at the Showbox is this like half circle, all the plywood set up. By the end of the night, my leg had literally gone through the stage. There were pictures of it. My knee. Crazy. Artillery, 40th anniversary. Vapor, another Cell Arts artist. Heavy thrash, if you're into that, which who isn't into that? Local show, Los Nomads are awesome, dirty kind of rock metal stuff. This show was incredible. Vorath, Casket Robbery, and Gorgatron were the main three I was there to see. I didn't know the local acts. Vorath really blew me away. Put out an amazing album last year. Sadly, their drummer recently died. I don't know the full details, but terrific drumming, terrific live performance. You know, it sounds like he was a great guy. Really, you know, a shame, but it was an incredible night. These three bands killed it. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen, so you have to make the most of all of this. Then took a little bit of a break and went over to the Czech Republic for what is easily the most amazing thing I've ever done as a fan. And that's saying something, if you know some of my concert history. Because it was 5 straight days, actually it was 6 straight days of grind and brutal death and just nonsense at an amazing festival. So OEF, extremely well run, extremely well organized. Every band gets an introduction in English and Czech. Like all the they have amenities, right? They have showers there, they have free water, they have the wristband with the chip so you can scan when you buy food and everything, so you don't have to carry as much cash, though the merch is in cash. Great area, right? Really nice semi-shaded outdoor half amphitheater type thing. They got every band, they provide the drum sets, and every band, right, there's 2 risers on wheels, so while one band is playing, the drum set's getting set up for the next band. 2 giant screens, just terrific. And the crowd goes absolutely apeshit. The stage is just full of people the whole time, basically losing their mind. They have a kids area, and then they have like a kids only crowd surfing thing. It was incredible. And it was his 25th year. The guy who runs it, Chirby, it was his 50th birthday. And I'm telling you, so the Thirst for Grind 15 was like the pre-show. Different organization, and it was done in Prague, which is about 3 hours from Trutnov. But basically, a few bands come in, and they have a warm-up show. Some of my favorites from that night were definitely Gummo. Tricito was really cool. Groinchurn, Horrors Nation, Mutilated Judge, who I didn't get to see them that night. I had to leave. But so then we get to the actual festival, and I can't even begin to go through it. It would take me 2 hours, but Hoarder was awesome. 7 Minute Statue. Devourment, one of the heaviest sets I saw last year. And yes, Devourment. Brutal. I got badly injured during that set. Hasya, Mutilated Judge, who great show, great set. Caused some problems on YouTube. Definitely not for the faint of heart if you go see them live. Walking Corpses, Gudalax, Napalm Death. Were look at that. You can see it. It's incredible. Incredible. I didn't get to stay every night. The time change just was whooping my ass, so I would miss like the last few bands of every night. But this festival, and there was an after party here with a few of the same bands, same area. This festival was so great. Like people were crying after because they didn't want to, they didn't want to leave it. The bands were so in touch with the fans during this, and I've seen a bunch of these bands play before, and they played at this with a level of energy that wasn't just, we're playing at a festival. They've got to play with like a love and a passion that was really inspiring. So OEF is something special. If you get a chance, if you can afford it, go to OEF. You will not be disappointed. That's all I'm going to say about that. Before I left Czech Republic, caught this awesome hardcore vegan straight edge show in the bottom of like a print press shop in their like basement. The bands were all from different areas, different countries. Earth Crisis headlining. I'm not straight edge, but I'm like 80%. I'm taking a lot of caffeine, but it was cool to go see and support this show. I believe that like a clean life is a good way to go. Obviously, there's people feel differently. Anyway, so amazing set of days in Czech Republic. Also, Czech Republic was not a very warm place, sad to say. And the cops were very mean. Local show. Inner Armour was incredible. Definitely a top set. Black Cloud, their first show. A bunch of musicians came together after some years, form kind of metalcore. Homie Chris is the vocalist. It's great to see him. It was awesome to be at their first show. Cloud Rat was my number 2 band to see for years and years. Finally got to see them. Real intense, heavy, awesome. Infernal Realm. So this was all a local show. Infernal Realm, some local homies. Really good stuff. Their album, really good. This show, kind of a palate cleanser, something different. Phonics, something special about them. Still trying to put my finger on it. Don't know exactly what, but really cool, kind of like electronic night. And getting into August here, another Wrath of Bong show, another local gig. Wrath of Bong's starting to, if you like kind of that instrumental stoner stuff, they're for you. All right. Went to this show largely for Lock Slip. Sarah G, who's an entry. Great performer, great front person, love it. Other bands were a lot of fun. Skin Lab. Saw them, I don't know how many years ago. Saw them again. Sadly, a really low turnout. I don't know why. I know one band had to drop off, and I know Short Fuse, not a super popular band. So that probably hurt a little bit. But, I don't know, Skin Lab, they put on a good show, so y'all missed out. Kerry King was I don't ever need to see that again. It just wasn't impressive. Slayer rocks. Love Kerry King and Slayer, and it's weird because it's a good band, but just something for me doesn't pop. Lamb of God puts on a good show. Mastodon set was really cool. Lots of awesome screen visual stuff. Held Scala again. George Thurgood and the Destroyers drove up to Canada. Didn't know Joe Waters. Wasn't really moved by him. This was a bit of an embarrassing thing, so I left about 3 or 4 songs in. It was a sad, wasted night. More local stuff. Stabbing. Charlotte couldn't make this, so they played kind of like a stripped down, old school set. Really good stuff. Seattle Decimation Fest, little local fest with some awesome bands. Some of my favorites from it were Disease, Sunshine Lollipop, right? So some good grind. Excretion, some brutal death metal. Bludgeon were cool. Really nasty stuff there. Bolt Cutter, already talked about them. Cryptic Enslavement was really cool. And in Mortuary, I really enjoyed them a lot too. Another kind of beatdown show. I went mainly for Corpse Pile. Man, incredible. Really, really good set. So go see Corpse Pile. Local show, Portland, I think, in Body Torment. But went mainly for these two. Never disappointed. Another beatdown show. Speed put on a great set. And Apex Predator, I mean, they're on fire right now. Brave Out was cool from Japan. Really cool. They were really good. So I went mainly for Possessed. I hadn't got to see Possessed yet. Just didn't. Something was missing that night. I don't know. I wasn't that moved. Spectral Wound again. I drug like 8 people to this who'd never even heard of them, and they all left as giant fans because they're incredible. Some local stuff. Butcher Babies. I wanted to finally see them. Although Carla, I think, is no longer in the band. Butcher Babies is better live than I was anticipating. They put out some cool music, but like seeing them live, it was just really good. So another cool metal show. Cruelty, love them. Tribal Gaze, really good. This show is pretty much, I went for Ingrown because they're insane and amazing. Pigpen, some cool homies. This was an interesting show, a lot of noise and grind and experimental. Diastope's really cool, weird stuff. Bob Villain, awesome. Kind of like metal rap, which a lot of, I think, people have a bad taste of that from some of the stuff in the 90s and 2000s. This is different, and it's really good, and it's good for the heart and soul. So, check Bob Villain out. Judas Priest, never got to see him with Halford. Finally saw him with Halford. And I needed to have seen them years ago. Nothing against them now. Halford's still got good voice. But, yeah, just wasn't for me. This show, not trying to be a dick, but the first few bands just didn't do anything for me. Pig is awesome. Seen him a couple times. They still put on a great show. Raymond is a great performer. And the music is fun and funny and dark. Look at this. I'm not a Black Dahlia fan. No disrespect to them. So I went mostly for Spite and Dying Fetus. I did want to check out Vomit Forth. Spite was awesome. Dying Fetus, just nasty. Really good shit. So the year so far, OEF filled me to the brim. So all of this is just gravy, gravy, gravy. But I was still in the zone. And then, so Iron Maiden, I've had tickets to see them, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. Missed them every other time, so bit the bullet. Bought that $25 cheap seat off Live Nation. Fuck Live Nation. Because I needed to see them, and it was a mistake through and through. I walk in, and ugly-ass merch. The shirts, right? Generic album cover front, tour dates on the back, each $50. And they weren't even, crisp looking. They weren't that good looking. Ugly, $125 or $150 hoodie. So, already a money thing. Alright, I'll just shut my mouth, go in there. They got a plane, they got to pay for that, I guess. And they came out, and it's the band is playing the songs, and Bruce is doing his, operatic on Broadway thing, and it was I left after 3 songs. Yeah, and I like Maiden. But it was disappointing, and I think that was a good example of we are kind of conditioned to stick to a name, and it's inauthentic. You could say, hey man, here's a free ticket to Iron Maiden. I'm not going to go. I was really disappointed, and I don't think Bruce Dickinson, I don't think he cares. I don't know if the band cares. I don't know if any band cares, really, but it was a really disappointing experience. So, what can you do? You go to another show. Hatebreed celebrating 30 years. Good for them. Carcass, got to see them finally. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. Weird, right? Harm's Way was awesome. Love them. There was something special about their shows. Crypta put on a great set too. So, Terror, always awesome, always violent. Rat City Recon, roller rink show, right? Bands playing in the middle, people skating. Some really cool stuff here. High and Fire is the headliner. Sophie Tucker, nice palette cleanser. Not my type of thing, kind of EDM, but man, there's something about their music that just makes me shake my ass and have fun. So, awesome Halloween show. Nox and Avacula crushed it. Some original and some covers. Misfits and that type of thing. Sisters of Mercy. Cybergrind show. Second one ever. Blind Equation, kind of pioneers in Cybergrind. Definitely one of the forefront. Great set. Real high energy. Real heavy. Omerta, man, something special there. Konashi, great set, just wasn't for me. So, all in all, this was a good night. It was a good show. Arizona, Max Cavalera Dynasty Show. 10 bands, 6 of which are Cavalera related. Either his son, Igor, or his other son, whose name I forget, but he's an Insight, or his son's girlfriend, or him, or all 3 of them. But Nailbomb was there, and that was the big draw. And it was really cool to see, right, not the authentic original lineup, but it was really cool to see. It was a great night. Somebody got drunk, got kicked out, got their truck stuck on train tracks. I think they were okay. It was a really good night. The venue, though, Marquee Theater, didn't have any food options, and this is like a 10-hour show. You could order food and kind of eat, I don't know. I think things like that are a little ridiculous. But my friend Rob, from Vancouver was also there, so we got to rock out. Really cool show. Got an awesome nail bomb shirt. Right? KKK with targeted on their head. And this matters. I'll tell you why in a second. Kind of deathcore metal stuff here, mainly for Atoll. Summer Nation Dismemberment was cool. So, go out to LA for this fucking beast of a show. Right, that's right, Nails. Start off with a kind of hardcore band, Auditory Anguish. They were good. Entry, right, Sarah G again. Man, she's just fierce. Yeah. Dead Body, real heavy, real brutal. World Peace was awesome, real intense grindcore. Zabalba and Nails, back to back, easily the most scared I've ever been at a show. Heavy, brutal. The LA crowd was out for blood. So, the pro to that is you get an awesome show, and it's chaotic. The con to it is, A, the dude next to me got knocked out for about 3 minutes because crowd killer, like, full punch to the back of the head, which, that's a dick move. There's no other way to put it. Granted, this dude wasn't doing a lot to protect himself, but the other thing is, so if you're gonna stage dive, A, make sure you get some air, right? It's a stage dive, not a stage flop. But B, I understand you want to go with your energy and flail. Like, if you're gonna flail around, don't grab and hold on to somebody's shirt, because my brand new lovely nail bomb shirt got ripped almost off of me by a stage diver who was just, I don't know. He's coming into puberty, really excited, I don't know. So, and it's not the kind of thing where I can sew it back together. It was pretty badly damaged. So, yes, always a risk. Did it need to happen? No. Zabalba was great. Really underrated, which is crazy. Definitely heavy, definitely fierce. And then Nails, the legends, mean and incredible. And it was a great night. Great night. So, come back, boom, Crowbar. Followed up about a week later by this local thing, Mount Saturn Reunited. Cool, like, stoner, light doom stuff. Dryland was cool. It's 10-year anniversary for them. More Better Lovers. More Full of Hell. Always fun. Awesome, kind of like goth rock, grind night. Really fun. Devastation on the Nation Tour. Null still the show for a lot of people that night. Fulci, sick. Exodus Havoc. Want to see Contusion again from their Maryland Death Fest set. Not the same this night, but I think that sound wasn't working for them. More Horrors. Gary, one of my favorite bands. C.ell Narder put on a great set. Nothing else needs to be said there. Went to see Max Shredroom. Glos was pretty cool. Late Night Shiner, Black Cloud, awesome. Palette Cleansing Show, nearing the end. Cascadian Winter Solstice, kind of like healing crystal spiritual type of vibe. Hana and Yema, just really good light stuff for people to dance to. Followed by mean crusty death metal stuff. Noroth, really cool local-ish death metal band. They always put on a good set. Axphere, some heavy crust stuff. Really cool. Fine Body, relatively new band, two-piece kind of heavy kind of stuff. In the vein of Primitive Man, not super close to it, but... And then, I'm going to close out the year with some hardcore type stuff. The Truth, newer band. Kodak Courage, young band, but a lot of potential there. Land Loss was a big draw for me. Mind Palace, my favorite of that night. Adipocere, you probably know him if you're in the hardcore scene. And then, last but not least, a special show for a number of reasons. New Year's Eve, got to finally see The Accused, AD, Kodak Courage again. Filth is Eternal, though, got to see him for the 9th time, and they're the band I've now seen the most. So, right, 34 minutes, kind of quick tour through all of this, and what I'm taking away from it is, A, whatever you're passionate about, go into it all out, right? You're going to meet people, right? I met amazing people from all over. Got to see incredible acts, got to see some terrible stuff, got some awesome merch and souvenirs. When I travel, I try to get like tattoos of the shows or the places, and like really enrich your life. It's not just about being a music fan, especially not like a gatekeepy type of thing. It's about, if I'm going to an all-you-can-eat buffet, like, let me dive in. And let me live life to the fullest, which I think has become overly and sadly cliche. But man, if you can do it, I'm feeling so full this year that like there's a calmness that this has brought to me. So I have to thank everybody I've seen, all the bands for doing what they do. Some of the bands are great interactions with the fans. Ghost Cult Magazine for working with me and giving me some really cool opportunities and introducing me to some cool stuff. The Seattle Metal family for always going to shows, having each other's back, having a great time. Yeah, and so if you're a music lover, you know what this is like. You know what it's like to feel full after a show, to get your ass kicked at a show, to walk out disappointed, but like you know what keeps you doing this again and again and again. So take this for what you will, disagree, agree, call me an idiot, but just know that there's a group of us who this really matters to, and heavy music, extreme music, all art is supposed to stand up to a lot of the shit we're seeing in the world today. So find what strengthens you to go out and live a good life and, stand up against the bad things. And thank you all so much for watching. The channel's being rebuilt. And for, just coming up, saying hi at shows, right? Because I love meeting people and talking to people. And I love it when people are engaged with the crowd. We can't have art without a crowd. Can't have music without a crowd. You remember what it was like during the pandemic when we were all dying for something, anything on a stage, whether it was under a bridge, in a huge venue. Live music was something that was taken from all of us because it was just, we couldn't be out in the world. And we couldn't be next to each other. We couldn't be next to stinky, sweaty strangers and people singing off key and overpriced shit. And now we're back in it and it feels great. So take care. More reviews coming soon. More footage coming soon. Who knows what else is coming soon? I know what else is coming soon, but I'm not telling you. So until next time, until I see you at a show, until you get to your next show, until, thank you, and good night.